LEGO has made so many different LEGO Star Wars sets, but despite this, there are so many cool ships and scenes never made before. I compiled a list of 8 sets that I think LEGO has to make really soon, and looking at how these sets could appear in modern LEGO Star Wars. Jumping right to it, I want to look at the RX-200 Falcon Assault Tank, or simply the stun tank seen in the Clone Wars. This tank was notably seen in the Zillo Beast arc in Season 2 of the Clone Wars, and a few times thereafter. But despite this, we have never seen it appear in some LEGO Star Wars set. It is no secret that clone troopers are becoming even more popular in LEGO Star Wars, with LEGO capitalizing on this and releasing several Clone Wars and clone trooper based sets right now, and we even recently saw a remake of the Republic fighter tank, another notable tank from the Clone Wars that was seen twice in LEGO before this 2022 remake. This stun cannon would make a really good set around the $50 to $60 price point, of course depending on how large the actual model ends up being. We could see some beloved minifigures from the earlier parts of the Clone Wars in this set, such as Anakin Skywalker, Mace Windu, and even Captain Rex in his Phase 1 armor, and perhaps some other clone troopers as well. The Naboo Royal Starship is another set that we have never seen before, and in many ways it definitely makes sense. In universe, this ship is seen as an extremely expensive and luxurious Naboo starship, dedicated to the Queen, and notably is really shiny and fully chromed out. Chrome pieces today in LEGO Star Wars sets are honestly quite rare, and would be incredibly expensive to mass produce for a set like this. A set that would ideally have to be fully chromed out on the exterior, and of course make a set at this size way more expensive than it should be. However, the set doesn't need those chrome pieces necessarily, as it would look good with a variety of greys as well, such as several other LEGO Star Wars sets at this scale, with maybe only a few chrome highlights here and there to give it that extra touch. We could see some remade minifigures such as Captain Panaka and a Naboo guard, and then of course Queen Amidala, who hasn't been seen since 2012. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn would also be a must in this set. Next I want to look at some diorama sets, and the first one is the Geonosis Droid Factory. Of course, this could also be a simple playset, or even a massive Master Builder series set, as the scene has so many different parts and details that could be depicted in a large LEGO Star Wars set. This custom by Brickwizard 59 is what I consider the perfect way to make this set, with enough details, different parts, and an overall perfect diorama display of this factory scene in the Attack of the Clones. Unlike the standard dioramas today, this diorama would ideally include a few extra minifigures to complete this scene. Other than the main characters of Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala, we could perhaps see Jango Fett, some Geonosis warriors, and a handful of Geonosis battle droids, and then of course C-3PO in his grey, unpainted look, and R2-D2. Another diorama set that so many fans were hoping to see in 2025 is the Palpatine's Arrest. This would be a well-needed remake of the beloved 2012 set, and would work perfectly in 2025 with the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary. And although we have no leaks or rumors saying that we might see this next year, it could potentially and hopefully still happen. Regardless, this is a set I think LEGO definitely should make, whether sooner or later, and it would be an amazing depiction of Palpatine's office seen throughout the prequel trilogy, and a display piece not only for his arrest scene, but several other scenes from either the Clone Wars or the different movies, depending on your personal preferences and minifigures available. Similar to the previous set idea, we would have to see some extra minifigures included as well. And other than the obvious choices being Palpatine, Mace Windu, and Anakin Skywalker, we could see all the different Jedi present in this scene, and they would all be brand new and exclusive to a set like this. And it is especially the perfect way to see a brand new version of Kit Fisto, who is well overdue for a remake at this point. For the next set, I want to look at another remake, and that is a remake of the Mandalorian Speeder. Now, this isn't something that is incredibly relevant today, but I think it would be an amazing Clone Wars based set to remake, and bring back beloved characters to the LEGO Star Wars shelves. The 2013 version of this set is quite a beloved and nostalgic LEGO Star Wars set that retailed for only $25 back in the day, which was really good for what you got. In a modern remake of this set, we could see an improved and more detailed speeder build, and then the biggest improvement would be the minifigures included. We could see a brand new version of Darth Maul in his Clone Wars Season 4 look, and he could even use the specialized leg piece seen on minifigures such as the Aarakocra or the Demogorgon, just with a robotic print. We would also of course see some new Mandalorian minifigures, with some arm printing and all around improved quality. Even a character such as Pre Vizsla could be included in some set like this, as he wouldn't necessarily fit in some other set right now, but is a character that could make for such a good Mandalorian minifigure today. The LEGO Star Wars double fighter sets are becoming a bit more common, and extremely popular as well, with a few sets being seen in these last few years. I think a brand new one based yet again on the Clone Wars is incredibly necessary, and would sell incredibly well today. The set idea I want to talk about today is a dual set between the Clone Wars Y-Wing as well as the Vulture droid, two of the most notable and popular Standard Republic and Separatist fighters in one set. Both of these vehicles are well overdue for a modern remake, and it would not only be cool to see them both in one set, but a good tactic from LEGO's side to potentially maximize sales on this one set, because a standalone Vulture droid set might not sell as well as the Y-Wing, but together it would be an even better seller than simply the Clone Wars Y-Wing. At least looking at the other sets being released, that's the conclusion I can make. This would also be a great way to finally see the Phase 1 clone pilot return, which is lightly leaked for 2025 even, and we could also see some named characters as well, perhaps Anakin or a Season 1 to 3 version of Ahsoka Tano. And then we could also see some battle droid or variants of them, and also a new Separatist leader minifigure, perhaps something like Wat Tambor, Admiral Trench, or something else. The final two sets I want to look at today are some Starship Collection sets, as this is the newer sub-theme of sets that is becoming very popular, and in my opinion some of the best sets currently available. The first one is a midi-scale Lambda class Imperial Shuttle. The Imperial Shuttle is behind the TIE Fighters and Star Destroyers as probably one of the most iconic Imperial vehicles seen in the original trilogy, and hasn't been seen in LEGO for quite some time. The previous version seen in 2021 is an incredibly overlooked and forgotten about set that won't be remade anytime soon unfortunately, but a new version of this vehicle in the Starship Collection could be incredibly cool. A much smaller set compared to some of the other sets in this wave, but a good, affordable set to add to the collection, perhaps around the $40 to $50 price point. In the ideal world, a minifigure would have to be included as well, but that is not likely going to change in these types of sets, unfortunately. From the Rogue One movie, I would love to see the Zeta class shuttle appear in some set as well. And there was apparently supposed to be a set made around this ship back when Rogue One was first released, but it was unfortunately cancelled before it could be made and released alongside the other sets from this movie. Today, however, a playset is incredibly unlikely, but I think a midi-scale version would be perfect, especially alongside the Imperial Shuttle and the Executor Super Star Destroyer already released. This could be on the larger side as well, perhaps at the same scale as something such as the Millennium Falcon set from this same wave, and have adjustable wings to illustrate the different landing and flying positions of this vehicle. We would of course see the orange hull underneath the main ship, which is a nice splash of color compared to the standard grey seen in so many different LEGO Star Wars sets. Let me know what you think about these set ideas and what other sets you hope to see someday. Then I will see you all in the next one. God bless you and cheers.